Hello, my dear followers. This is Phantom, your guide to the darkest corners of true crime. Tonight, we dive into one of America's most chilling mysteries, the Zodiac Killer. It all began on December 20th, 1968, in Vallejo, California. Two young lovers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, parked at a secluded lover's lane. A figure approached their car, fired multiple shots, and vanished into the darkness. The nightmare had just begun. The police arrived to find David dead in the car and Betty Lou lying a few feet away. She had been shot 5 times while trying to flee. The killer left no obvious clues, but this was only the beginning. 6 months later, on July 4, 1969, another attack shook Vallejo. Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mago were shot at a parking lot. Mago survived and described the attacker a white male with a flashlight and a gun. The Zodiac was just getting started. On July 31, 1969, the Vallejo Times-Herald received a chilling letter. The killer claimed responsibility for the attacks on Faraday, Jensen, Ferrin, and Mago. He included details only the murderer could know and demanded the letter be published, or he would cruise around all weekend killing lone people. The letter was signed with a crosshair-like symbol, the Zodiac signature. On September 27, 1969, the Zodiac struck again, this time at Lake Berryessa. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were picnicking when a man approached, wearing a black executioner's hood with the Zodiac symbol. He tied them up, stabbed them repeatedly, and left. Cecilia died, but Brian survived. The Zodiac's brutality was escalating. Minutes after the Lake Berryessa attack, the Zodiac called the Napa County Sheriff's Office from a nearby payphone. He calmly reported the crime, proving his confidence and his desire for attention. The call was traced, but the killer was long gone. His audacity shocked investigators. On October 11, 1969, the Zodiac claimed his 5th victim. Paul Stein, a taxi driver, was shot in the head in San Francisco. The killer took a piece of Stein's shirt as a trophy. Witnesses saw him wiping down the cab, but he vanished into the night. The Zodiac was now a citywide terror. The Zodiac sent another letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, this time with a cipher-coded message. He claimed it contained his identity. The cipher was solved weeks later, but it revealed only cryptic phrases like "I like killing people because it is so much fun." His motives remained a mystery. On October 22, 1970, the Zodiac sent a Halloween card to reporter Paul Avery. Inside was a cryptic message and a threat. "Peekaboo, you are doomed." The card was signed with the Zodiac symbol. Avery, terrified, began carrying a gun. The killer's psychological games were working. Over the years, dozens of suspects were investigated. Arthur Lee Allen, a schoolteacher, was the most notorious. He matched witness descriptions, owned Zodiac brand watches, and had a disturbing interest in firearms. However, evidence linking him to the crimes was circumstantial. The Zodiac's true identity remained elusive. After 1974, the Zodiac's letters stopped. Some believe he died, others that he was imprisoned for unrelated crimes. The case grew cold, but the fear he instilled never faded. To this day, the Zodiac Killer remains one of America's most enigmatic criminals. Even after the letters stopped, the Zodiac's legacy lived on. His crimes inspired books, movies, and countless theories. His ability to evade capture made him a symbol of fear and fascination. But who was he? A genius, a madman, or just a man who got lucky? Of the 4 ciphers the Zodiac sent, only 3 have been solved. The 4th, known as the 340 cipher, remained unsolved for over 50 years. In 2020, a team of code breakers finally cracked it, but the message was disappointingly vague. "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me." The Zodiac's taunts continued, even decades later. Some believe the Zodiac's first murder was Sherry Jo Bates, a college student killed in Riverside in 1966. A letter sent to the police and the press bore striking similarities to the Zodiac's later writings. Was this his first victim, or just a coincidence? The debate continues. Handwriting analysis became a key part of the investigation. The Zodiac's letters were written in a distinctive, almost childish script. Experts compared it to samples from suspects, but no definitive match was found. His identity remained hidden in plain sight. In one of his letters, the Zodiac claimed he would shoot out the tires of a school bus and pick off the children as they fled. He also threatened to bomb a movie theater. These threats were never carried out, but they spread panic across California. Was he bluffing, or was he planning something worse? During the Lake Berry S attack, the Zodiac wore a bizarre costume, a black hood with the Zodiac symbol and clip-on sunglasses. Some believe this was to conceal his identity, while others think it was part of his psychological warfare. Either way, it added to his terrifying mystique. The Zodiac used a variety of weapons, a .22 caliber pistol, a knife, and even a rope to tie up his victims. His choice of tools showed his adaptability and ruthlessness. Each weapon added a new layer of horror to his crimes. His crimes span multiple counties: Solano, Napa, and San Francisco. This made coordination between law enforcement agencies difficult. The Zodiac seemed to know this, using it to his advantage. His ability to move undetected added to his legend. Why did he kill? Some believe he craved fame, others that he enjoyed the thrill of the hunt. In his letters, he claimed to be collecting slaves for the afterlife. Was this a twisted fantasy, or just another way to toy with investigators? The Zodiac's confirmed victims were young, innocent, and chosen at random. David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Ferrin, Cecilia Shepard, and Paul Stein. Their lives were cut short by a man who saw them as pawns in his deadly game. Their stories remind us of the human cost of his crimes. The Zodiac loved to taunt the police and the media. In one letter, he wrote, "I am waiting for a good movie about me. Who will play me?" His arrogance was shocking, but it also revealed his desire for notoriety. He wanted to be remembered, and he succeeded. Despite his cunning, the Zodiac made mistakes. He left fingerprints on Paul Stein's cab and possibly DNA on the stamps of his letters. However, forensic technology at the time was limited, and these clues never led to his capture. Was he lucky, or was he always one step ahead? Over the years, the Zodiac sent over 20 letters to newspapers and police. Some contained threats, others ciphers, and a few even included pieces of his victims' clothing. Each letter was a puzzle, designed to keep investigators guessing and the public terrified. From 1968 to 1974, the Zodiac's crimes and letters created a timeline of terror. Each attack and communication was meticulously planned to maximize fear and confusion. But after 1974, he went silent. Did he die, or did he simply stop? The Zodiac understood the power of the media. By sending letters to newspapers, he ensured his crimes would be front-page news. He manipulated the press to spread his message of fear, making him one of the first celebrity criminals. Not all of the Zodiac's victims died. Michael Mageau and Brian Hartnell survived their attacks, providing crucial details about the killer. Their bravery in the face of trauma helped investigators piece together the Zodiac's methods, but not his identity. Detectives like Dave Toschi and Bill Armstrong dedicated years to catching the Zodiac. They followed countless leads, interviewed suspects, and analyzed evidence. Despite their efforts, the killer remained elusive, leaving a lasting mark on their careers. The Zodiac's crimes inspired a new era of true crime fascination. His use of ciphers, media manipulation, and psychological terror became a blueprint for future criminals. Even today, his case continues to captivate and horrify. From movies like Zodiac to TV shows and books, the Zodiac story has become a cultural phenomenon. His mystique has made him a symbol of unsolved mysteries, inspiring endless speculation and theories. Despite decades of investigation, the Zodiac case remains unsolved. Advances in DNA technology and forensic science offer hope, but the killer's identity is still a mystery. Will we ever know who he was? Or will the Zodiac remain a ghost in the shadows? The Zodiac wasn't just a killer, he was a master of psychological manipulation. His letters were filled with taunts, riddles, and threats designed to terrify the public and frustrate investigators. He once wrote, "I enjoy needling the blue pigs," showing his disdain for law enforcement. His ability to control the narrative through the media made him feel invincible, and his games left a lasting impact on everyone involved. One of the most baffling aspects of the Zodiac case was his changing modus operandi. He used guns, knives, and even ropes to kill his victims. This unpredictability made it harder for investigators to connect the crimes. Was he experimenting, or was he deliberately trying to confuse the police? His adaptability only added to the mystery surrounding him. While the Zodiac claimed 37 victims, only 5 have been confirmed. Some believe he was responsible for other unsolved murders, like Kathleen Johns, who escaped after being kidnapped. Others point to crimes in Southern California, but without concrete evidence, these connections remain speculative. The true number of his victims may never be known. The Zodiac's ciphers were more than just codes, they were challenges to the public. He once wrote, "If you do not want me to have this blast, you must do 2 things. 1. Print this cipher on the front page. 2. Ask for more." His arrogance was matched only by his cunning, as he turned his crimes into a twisted game that captivated the nation. After 1974, the Zodiac vanished. No more letters, no more attacks. Some believe he died, while others think he was imprisoned for unrelated crimes. A few even speculate that he grew bored or lost interest. Whatever the reason, his silence only deepened the mystery. Was he still out there, watching and waiting? Arthur Lee Allen remains the most famous Zodiac suspect. He matched witness descriptions, had a history of violence, and even owned Zodiac brand watches. However, DNA and fingerprint evidence failed to link him definitively to the crimes. Was he the Zodiac, or just a convenient scapegoat? The debate continues to this day. Over the years, dozens of suspects have been proposed, from military veterans to school teachers. Some were ruled out quickly, while others, like Richard Gajkowski and Lawrence Kane, remain intriguing possibilities. Despite the efforts of investigators and amateur sleuths, no one has been able to definitively identify the Zodiac. The Zodiac case revolutionized the way law enforcement handles serial killers. It highlighted the importance of media relations, forensic science, and interagency cooperation. His crimes also sparked a public fascination with true crime that continues to this day. In many ways, the Zodiac changed the game forever. Advances in DNA technology have given new hope to solving the Zodiac case. In recent years, investigators have revisited old evidence, including stamps and envelopes from his letters. While no breakthroughs have been made yet, the possibility of identifying the Zodiac through modern science keeps the case alive. More than 50 years after his first attack, the Zodiac Killer remains one of America's most infamous unsolved mysteries. His crimes, letters, and ciphers continue to fascinate and horrify. Was he a genius, a madman, or just a man who got lucky? Until his identity is revealed, the legend of the Zodiac will live on. The Zodiac Killer has become a cultural icon, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and movies. Films like Zodiac 2007 brought his story to a new generation, while true crime podcasts and YouTube channels keep the mystery alive. His ability to evade capture has made him a symbol of the ultimate unsolved mystery. Experts have tried to profile the Zodiac, describing him as a narcissist with a need for control and attention. He likely had above-average intelligence and a deep understanding of media manipulation. His crimes were not just about killing, they were about power, fear, and leaving a lasting legacy. Why did the Zodiac kill? Some believe he craved fame, while others think he enjoyed the thrill of outsmarting the police. In his letters, he claimed to be collecting slaves for the afterlife, a chilling glimpse into his twisted mind. His true motives may never be fully understood. The Zodiac's last confirmed letter was sent in 1974. In it, he referenced the movie The Exorcist and claimed to have killed a victim whose body was never found. Was this another taunt, or was it a clue? The letter remains one of the most debated aspects of the case. Default text. While some of the Zodiac's ciphers have been solved, others remain a mystery. The 340 cipher was cracked in 2020, but its message was disappointingly vague. Are there more ciphers out there, waiting to be discovered? The possibility keeps amateur code breakers and investigators searching. The Zodiac case changed the way law enforcement handles serial killers. It highlighted the importance of collaboration between agencies, the use of media, and the need for advanced forensic techniques. His crimes forced police to adapt, leaving a lasting impact on criminal investigations. Default text. From movies to music, the Zodiac has left his mark on pop culture. Bands like My Chemical Romance have referenced him in their lyrics, while TV shows like Criminal Minds have drawn inspiration from his crimes. His story continues to captivate and terrify audiences worldwide. In recent years, new suspects have emerged, thanks to advances in technology and renewed interest in the case. Some point to Gary Francis' post, a man linked to the crimes through DNA evidence, while others believe the Zodiac may have been a woman. The search for answers continues. Why does the Zodiac Killer still fascinate us? Perhaps it's the mystery of his identity, the complexity of his crimes, or the way he manipulated the media. Whatever the reason, his story remains one of the most compelling in true crime history. As we close this chapter, the Zodiac Killer remains an enigma. His crimes, letters, and ciphers have left an indelible mark on history. Will we ever know who he was? Until then, the legend of the Zodiac will continue to haunt us. This is Phantom, signing off. Stay curious, stay safe, and remember the truth is out there.